Hey darlings, my name's Key. Welcome to Choose You. I'm your guide on a journey from victim to victor, helping you turn survival mode off and higher self on. It's time to create the life you desire. Dive in. Oh my god. Hey darlings, it is your favorite mogul mommy, Key, and welcome to Choose You. I'm so flipping excited because I have a guest today, and I love doing my podcast when I have a guest. This is the lovely Cade, the business owner of
Love.
I love it. I love it. We actually met at the CEO Creatives Conference last week, and I don't remember how we got to the whole, hey, let's do a podcast. I know I mentioned something.
Something after the interview.
Either after the interview or when I went over to the Good Guys table. He was working with this other business called the Good Guys, and they're really dope. They're awesome. They're great men.
Shout out the good guys.
Yes. But I went over to the table, and then I know you had your merch there too, right?
Yeah, we had some unreleased samples, and then just a couple things we had left over from the fashion show and last Valentine's Day.
Fire. Dope.
Yep.
So yeah, somehow I said something about the podcast, and then good old Cade had hit me up and reminded me because you guys know that I have like the attention span of a squirrel, and I will literally just throw ideas out there in the world and then just go on with my life. Like, yeah. So we finally got up together to do a podcast, and when we were talking, we're just like, what are we gonna do a podcast on? What do you want to do it on? Was it you that came up with the idea, or did we kind of like?
It was kind of, I don't know.
I feel like it was mutual.
We were talking one day, we were like, what is, I guess, not what the world needs, but one thing like that isn't touched on enough. So,
Yeah.
just gratitude.
Yes. And then we just kind of like went into gratitude. Y'all already know I have notes, because if I don't have notes, then this thing could just go everywhere. So we're just going to stay on task. I introduced Cade, and we're going to share insights on like gratitude and what we think gratitude is and isn't. But I'll let you go first.
To me, gratitude is taking, quote unquote, the simple things or the small things. Like, it sounds cliche, but even just breathing, we're alive, or it's honestly just a blessing in itself. Like, this life we live, it's a blessing that we're even being able to do this podcast. I know a lot of people that don't even, they wake up, just for example, in a hospital, just wishing, they could. So we're very blessed. Very blessed for the life we live, for sure.
Yes. And I think something that we were talking about with gratitude, because I'll go into what I think gratitude is, which is pretty much aligned, but how we think that we don't have it all. I think that's something that I said. I was like, we really actually have it all. We have everything that we need. I would be in my home, and I would just look around, and I'm like, wow. There are things that I stress about. There are goals that I want to meet. There are things that I want. But if I could just be really honest, everything everything that I have right now is it's everything. Like, if I never achieved anything else, if I never did anything else, I will have lived a really full life. But what would separate me from actually living in that is my ability to acknowledge it. There are so many people who have all of these things, but it's just never enough. It's never enough. So to me, gratitude is just practicing, like, just being thankful for every little thing that you have, little, big, whatever it is, and enjoying it and being okay with it. But gratitude for me, like, I think that was the next thing is to discuss like the transformative power of shifting your mindset and perspective that favors gratitude. I know for me, I don't know, like, I just would feel so unfulfilled with everything that I've accomplished. And everybody would tell me, my friends, community, everyone, Kira, you're killing it. Your business is doing great. You're doing this and that and whatever. And I'm just like, what?
And in your head, you're like, what?
I'm not doing anything.
No, it's not. What am I doing?
Yeah.
One of the things that helped me with gratitude was simple as changing from like, I have to do this, or I gotta do this. I get to.
Yes.
Like the other day, I caught myself. I was packing orders, actually, like a good amount of orders, and I caught myself like, holy shit, I gotta pack these orders. But it's like, whoa. I zoom out. I'm like, I used to pray about this.
Yeah.
I used to, still do till this day. It's like, what am I complaining about?
Yeah, this is what
Like,
you wanted.
this is awesome. This is the coolest thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
somebody took the time out of their day to buy something that, I designed
You
and made and,
yeah.
our team made. And I should be, like,
Grateful.
I should be in this room, like, ear to ear packing these orders. And once I kind of zoomed out and thought about it like that, I was like, damn, like, I get to do this. This is everything I've ever wanted. So, yeah.
And that
simple things.
That's like a moment of something that I believe that people need so much more of is self-reflection, and being able to, like you said, zoom out and really see the full picture of what's happening here. Like, I'm taking this blessing for granted. I'm taking this thing that I prayed for granted. I would find myself in my house kind of just overwhelmed with cleaning and organizing and everything, and I had to remind myself,
it's like I have a house to clean.
I have this house.
I have all these things to clean and do,
house,
and
yes.
most people are like would
Wanting.
kill to have
Yes.
even just a place to sleep. So
Yes.
it's like, man, like the other day I was, TMI, like putting my clothes away and all that stuff, and I was like, I gotta make my bed, I gotta do this. I was like, Cade, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, what are you
it's
complaining
just those
about?
simple,
Right
like,
now?
mindset
It's like,
shifts.
just like, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
just do it. Like, you're so blessed to even have a bed to sleep in. And
Yeah.
a roof over my head. Like, yeah.
And that's
for
not
sure.
like, I know everyone has their different lives and their different struggles and everything. So like
course.
my heart and my struggle when I was a child is so much different than my son's. And my son, it was a few weeks ago. He's like, I have a really hard life. This is Isaac.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have a hard life, son.
Yeah.
Son, I did not have my own bedroom. You have your own. You not only have your own bedroom, you have a playroom. You have a gaming station. You have all of, and you have a very, very big and clean home.
But through his perspective,
Yes, it's hard.
that's
Like
how it is.
the stuff that he is going through because of just how his life has been is hard. For me, I'm like, you are living the dream. But I had
Perspective is
to,
everything.
yes, I had to take a step back because I was talking to my girlfriend Victoria, and she was like, well, it's valid. This is his normal, so it could be hard for him.
Anything other than that.
Exactly.
All we know is what we go through.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I feel like with the parenting aspect of things, most parents would be like, well, in my day, we did this and that and whatever, and it would completely invalidate, their child telling them, hey, this is hard for me. And so I didn't want to invalidate Isaac because I was about to be like, the fuck? It's hard. You pay bills. What? So I had to take a step back and be like, okay, can you help me understand? Because I don't understand. How is this hard for you? And just on the gratitude note, this is something that I love to practice with my kids. I have been asking them these questions since they were just toddlers. What are you grateful for today?
Yeah.
What are you grateful for? And Isaac, he's like, I'm grateful for, my mom, or I'm grateful for my brother. Izzy doesn't say grateful. He says, I love. And I think that's so amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Izzy, what are you grateful for? He's like, I love my brother. I love my mom. I love just things that I think that's so cute because he does it every single time we're like, shooting for gratitude and stuff like that.
It's a good way to start the day too.
Yes.
Like
thinking
before you get
about
out
what
of
you
bed.
actually have.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, okay. So you know the idea of like romanticizing your life, yeah? So like obsessing over those mundane things. For me, I love to do that with like my morning hygiene and stuff. I'll play like music, do face masks, and just I'm at the spa. I'm at the spa right now. I'm living my best
In your
life.
own world.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be that way.
Yeah.
You have to. That's the way to, like anything in life, like just the small things, like you said, just, brushing your teeth in the morning, washing your face. Like, I'll have music on. I'll be in there just like, I'm having my own concert.
Yes, no, I will do that so
Because if not, like,
often.
life is boring
It's
to me.
boring.
So boring. Like,
I'll like be
everything.
cleaning my kitchen, just playing music, living my best life. Because they're like, the music's too loud. I'm like, go upstairs. Let me live. Let me be happy. But romanticizing your life is that. It's just, it's obsessing over those simple, mundane things. And it doesn't even just have to be like when you do the action, but there are simple ways that you can romanticize your life. Like the area that you live in. Keep it clean and organized. I love how my space has always been neat and tidy, and I think that that is something that I've noticed with other humans is that
It affects your internal too.
yes,
If your external space is clean, it's easier to, um,
get your mind and your
yeah,
thoughts
you're
together.
just in line with everything. Your head's straight. You don't feel like you're cluttered.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
you know, that's just one of control what you can control. If
yeah.
your mind's in a million different places, at least have your space around
Yes.
you. Yeah,
I
that's
can't.
my thing personally. I like to have all my stuff, clean and in line,
Yes.
and it has to be because if not, because
I won't focus.
I'm
I will
already
not
thinking
focus.
about a million different things.
Yeah,
This is just
yeah, yeah.
adding to it.
Just giving me something else to worry about.
Something else to worry about. Yeah.
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 If I'm going somewhere, like in my house to work, whether it's my room, living room, kitchen, whatever, if I'm in the living room, I was talking to a colleague at work about this. If the kitchen's a mess, I will have to go in and clean the kitchen. It just has to, that's why I've made it a habit for me to make my entire space just clear. Because not only is it good for like your mind, but even just your mood. You're much happier in a like clutter-free environment. So that's another dope way to romanticize your life. If your home right now is just not the way you want it, it's really junky. It's so much. It's overwhelming.
Change it.
Change it.
Change it.
Let that be like
Change
maybe
it.
a quarter project for you. We're about to step into Q2. Let that be something that you focus on.
It's worth it.
One room at a
worth it.
time.
Yep.
I have my garage needs Jesus. I've got to do something about it and quick because it's not super bad, but y'all know me. I'm OCD, super organized, everything, and it's just not organized how I like it. And there's a lot of things in there that are like storage stuff that I need to go and actually like go in and get seasonal, whatever. I just don't like it. But everything else in my house, it's pretty chill. But it has helped me to be this high performing person that people see me as because my space favors the lifestyle that I live. Does your space favor that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's your sacred space.
That's what I call it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yay.
Yep. I catch myself too, like when I'm designing certain things. If my, just say for example, like if I'm in my room making something and my room's messy, I can't. Whatever I'm trying to focus on or create, it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's just I can't. Yeah, I'll have to get up and clean first before I can even. Because stuff it flows easier when you're. In that,
it's energetic.
Mm-hmm.
The environment around you, how everything is placed, it's all energetic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe it, like clean your house,
Just,
declutter your house, and just humor me. Let me know how you feel after you do it. It's crazy. And something that, oh my God, my mind is going blank. Okay. So gratitude, going back on that. How has practicing gratitude changed your life? Like, I'm talking, tangible things, and I'll share mine. But like, the first apartment that I ever had, City Line Apartments, I made sure that place looked amazing. That's where I started, organizing and keeping everything neat. Like my college dorm room, it was organized, it was neat. Honestly, everywhere that I've ever been, I've kept my stuff like really neat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how my philosophy is that if I show God that I am stewarding what He's given me well, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm taking care of it, then He will bless me with more. He'll give me more.
Every time. Yep.
And that's pretty much how my life has been from my first apartment, then moving into a townhouse, another townhouse, and then now my home. Every single time, it's gotten bigger and better. And so that's just like my thing on that. Like if you want more, and I tell my kids this, if you want more, then practice like loving and appreciating what you have now.
Yeah, that's real. There's a quote I really like. I'm gonna butcher it, but it's about a farmer. It's like you can't pray for rain without having your crops in order and your equipment and everything ready for rain to happen. You can't just say, "Oh, I need rain. I want it to rain," and not do anything about it. That's like the way I go through everything in life. Like I can't pray and meditate for all these things and then not do my part. So with that, it's like I can't ask for all these things and then not
take care of what you have,
not take care of my own business on the things I can control. Because
I love that. Would you say, could you think of a time in life where gratitude wasn't that big for you? Like, can you think of like where your mental space was?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say that really goes back to my maybe sophomore year in high school, going into junior years when I started becoming more grateful for the little things. I've always been kind of, well spirited and
Yeah.
grateful for things, but you never really become truly grateful for things until you realize like everything can be taken away as quick as it can be given.
This water
And,
is so terrible.
yeah, it's bad. But one of the things like that kind of steered me on that path was a lot of you guys don't even know my junior year. I mean, not my junior year, my senior year. I got in a really bad injury playing football. I had temporary nerve damage, and I couldn't move from my neck down for a few hours, and I was very, very scared, and that put it in perspective, like everything for me. Not even just football, that's like very, just a pebble of
worries,
the
yeah.
worries, but it was just like, wow, like going back to earlier, like I'm blessed to be breathing, blessed to be walking, like, because I didn't think I was ever again, and had a lot of concussions playing football, and that's another thing too. It's like we take for granted our just our health, our this body. Like we
I think it's like a chore to take care of your body. I'm like, you have a body, and you have working legs, arms, everything. You have the ability.
We were given, all of this. Like we're, one of the things that kind of resonates with me is we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
We're not human beings having we're not entitled to anything. Like everything we go through in life is, like what we attract and what's given us. So realizing that, like, it's hard not to be grateful for things like that. Even if it is just like we're in here just sitting doing this, like we could be in a million other places, like, not healthy, not, so yeah, just try to keep that in mind with whatever we do in this life.
I'm trying to look. Does it tell me? Okay, I was trying to see how long it's been. It's been 17 minutes. I think we're doing great.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Okay, so I like this one. Explore how gratitude serves as a foundational principle in manifesting desires and creating abundance. We kind of like touched on that just by like, God gives us something and we just show appreciation for it, gratitude for it, and he will bless us with more. And it's not like a, instantaneous thing. I don't know if we've not talked about this. We've talked about time before and how time is literally just it's man-made. It's relative. But I've talked about this to a few friends about, because everyone's like, everything's on God's timing. What is God's timing? And I believe it to be not, our form of time, but more so like an internal, like our spiritual growth. When we have a level of awareness and a certain level of like just self-knowing and maturity, like spiritual maturity, I think that's like when we will hit those certain milestones. Like if I'm believing God for this this level of success in my business, but you're not necessarily doing what you need to do to be able to handle that.
No.
Once you've gotten to a place where you can handle it and God knows that you can handle it, then he will give it to you. And of course there's the idea of like questioning, like, what about the people who got it before they were ready,
Exactly. Yeah. And that's just certain scenarios too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Of course there's always that 1% of people, but I just like to, if you live in truth and like really are truthful with yourself, like if I were to get what I'm asking for right now, could I handle it?
Yeah.
And if you can't truly answer that, then you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
So it's what I do with myself every night. I look in the mirror, it's like, am I ready? Can I handle? Am I doing the right things to get what I'm asking for? And it's hard too, because nobody's ever ready. You just have to do it. But it's like the main...
Like, am I ready to adapt? Am I ready to, like, learn how to do this thing? I love throwing myself into something. I mean, love it.
What makes life
it tests you. It tests, like, everything that you know. Like, a lot of the events that I've been doing the past, like, year and a half, I've just been like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing.
And then I figure it out. Like,
And you surprise yourself
Yeah.
sometimes. You're like, wow, I didn't know that I can do this. And I know we're talking about gratitude, but that's honestly how you develop more confidence in yourself is by just betting on yourself, throwing yourself at a thing, figuring it out, and then you start to see what you can really do. But if you're not putting yourself out there, if you're not taking some risk, you won't know. You won't know.
And we talked about it earlier. None of us have it figured out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and if somebody's like, they don't. If somebody's saying they do, acting like they don't. None of us do.
Almost all of us will say at least once, yeah, I'm getting my life together. Like, when have we ever gotten
never
it together?
have it together.
I don't think we're ever going to get it together. I think it's just,
just do.
Yeah, really.
It's simple and sounds stupid, but you just do.
Yes.
And just, it's all, that's it. That's all it is to it.
So, like, how do you infuse gratitude into every day?
I create with this in mind too. Like, I like to, design, of course, like things that I like, but I like to look at it from like the consumer standpoint too. Like, they're supporting this and like liking this, something that I enjoy doing. Like, that's so cool to me.
Yeah.
So like, it's just so hard not to be grateful for that, and that's honestly like what keeps me going. Really is like, that's the coolest feeling in the world when you're walking down the street and you see somebody in your
That's
hoodie.
so dope.
It's like, damn, like, they took the time out of their day to buy that, and it's like, damn, and now they're wearing it.
Yeah,
and like
that's amazing.
feeling confident from it. Like, that's what it's like. Okay, like, this is awesome. Like,
Yes.
that's what can I not? How could I not be
grateful for
thankful
that.
for it? Yeah.
There are some people, like, I know something I would struggle with is like having a level of success, but then being like, I need to do more. I need that person isn't wearing my hoodie. They need to wear it, and you focus on the wrong things. Like, focus on, I know you say this all the time, focus on what you can control, and what you can't, like, just leave it. It's not really yours to stress about,
It just makes life much more enjoyable, let alone easy. Like, if I was walking around town and like, oh, why don't they have my hoodie? What
You'd be so upset.
I would be mad all day long, every day.
Oh my God! Like, what do you?
Who am I?
Think,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Everyone who is like right now, if you are constantly upset, constantly sad, constantly angry, what are you focusing on? Like, are you focusing on what you don't have? Are you focusing on like things that are not meant for you? Because a lot of people are trying to manifest things in their life that was never meant for them in the first place, and that's another.
Energy goes where attention flows.
Yes.
It's not like. And what that means is like, oh, I want to be an NBA basketball player. Well, I'm going to be one. No, like, you have to be kind of realistic on things too. But what like living in truth means to me is, and I feel like everything will work out if you live in truth too, because I just, I think what we don't do as a whole anymore is take the things, of course, be good at multiple different things, of course, but take like what lights you up inside.
Yes.
And run with that.
We don't.
Because it's like I was telling you yesterday, like, I was the kid when I was little that was picking out my outfits the night before school, and then it's like, as I get older, it's like, damn, that makes sense. Like, because it lights me up inside. I've always liked clothes. Okay, so what can I do with this? Or can I, I feel like if we just kind of do that and really live in our purpose, society as a whole will be much more fulfilled and not so much worried about like what others have. Yeah. And it boils down to like social media, unfortunately. Yeah. It is the worst thing ever. Because like, without social media, none of this would be happening. Yeah, of course. True. And none, you guys wouldn't even know about love or me or anything. Yeah. And I wouldn't be able to live in this purpose. But on the flip side of that, it's like,
it's a great tool, but it's also
where attention goes, energy flows. So if my feed is nothing but negative and just some bullshit, excuse me, that's what I'm gonna be thinking about. Yeah. And I'm gonna be walking around negative if I'm looking at some negative shit all day, essentially. So let's keep it simple. Life's simple if we make it that way.
I agree. Fudge nuggets, I'm trying to think, because there was something that I was thinking about and I think I forgot. It was good too. Oh, okay, yeah. So talking about how you infuse gratitude into your day-to-day. I know for me, I love to journal. I have my Reflect and Manifest journal that I just don't talk about enough, but that is something that I love using, and I use it most mornings. Like, I wouldn't say every morning now, because in my busiest seasons, especially during Ramadan, like, I am so focused towards like my prayers and stuff, and I wake up to like cook so I can eat, so I can fast, and then I'm praying and stuff. I hadn't been journaling. I realized that just a couple days in, but I'm gonna get back to that. But yeah, I will write down like 5 things that I'm grateful for, and then it'll be like I try to shoot for things that are could be overlooked. Like, I'll be grateful for the quiet time that I have in my prayer closet, or my favorite cup of tea, or just spending time with my sons. My sons are always on my gratitude board every single morning. And then God is always up there, something. Like, I'm grateful for something that he's given me, whether it's his favor, his love, provision, something. I'm always
Focusing
grateful.
on what you have, too,
Yes.
not what you don't have.
Yes.
'Cause,
Yes.
yeah.
Like, I try to focus on just those things that I may not be paying attention to. And that's how you train yourself to look for all of these things that you have. I feel like gratitude can also be like a muscle, and you have to exercise it in order to start seeing
Every
it
day.
everywhere. Yeah.
You have to.
And then you get to a point where, you're like us, and you're just like happy because I have everything. What the heck? And I'll constantly thank, God for lots of things that I have, or even just people. I will thank them for like their time and their energy.
Yeah, that's huge. What we take for granted too is like, just for example, like people helping you out and things like that. Like, we take that for granted, but the people helping us out, they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
They could have been like, whatever. But they're taking energy and time out of their day, putting it, towards whatever we're doing. That's the coolest, it's one of the coolest things too. Like, another thing that lights me up, it's like, damn, like, you care. You
There's not a lot of
believe
genuine
in
people.
and see. So it's like, There's really not. But
I feel that. There's not a lot of genuine people out there, and real people that will tell you like what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. I wholeheartedly agree.
living in truth.
Yes. Okay. I always leave you guys with some really good tangibles and actionable steps that you can take, because we've been talking about gratitude all flipping, this episode. And so if you're wanting to invite more gratitude into your life, and you're like, Kira, I'm tired of being bitter, I'm tired of being sad, I'm tired of like just overlooking everything that I have. I want to be happy. Even if you aren't where you want to be in life right now, that's okay. Gratitude can be a really dope vehicle to get you there. So if you're wanting to start being more grateful, like I mentioned, you can start a simple gratitude journal, whether you order Reflect and Manifest, or you just take a notebook and you write 5 different bullets down, and you write 5 things you're grateful for. Super simple. Do it every morning, make a habit out of it. And I'll let you talk about like mindful moments, like just being, what is it? It's like present mindfulness, being present, meditating. Like, how can they use meditation as a form to help them become more grateful?
Me personally, what I use, like when I meditate, and what I use, and what I use meditation for is, as life is full speed all the time, constantly. Our brain, if we're sitting still, our brain's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, what meditation is to me is being still and coming back to center. Like, you physically and mentally can't operate at your true self if you never take time to get to know yourself.
Yes.
Because essentially what meditation is not necessarily self-talk, but how do you get to know somebody? You spend time with them. Okay, well, why would we not do the same with ourselves? It's hard, if you don't spend time with yourself and know yourself, you're living for other people.
Yeah, honestly.
Essentially, even if you don't know it, you're subconsciously doing it just because you're trying to, just
please other
for
people,
example,
or
before you go to do something, you're thinking in your head, well, so-and-so like this, or don't.
Yeah, you get to a point where all you think about is, how do I feel about this? What do I want to do?
And then you'll be, just say for example, 80 years old one day, like, damn, what did I do
For me.
and you're like, wow. So one of the things, like, meditation helps me with is knowing myself, knowing like, you know, my truth, what makes me happy. What makes me happy one day might not make me happy the next day. So it's like, okay, why is this? And then I'll sit with it and then, you know, just go about it like that.
Yeah.
Then,
Even things that maybe even make you upset. Like,
why is this making me upset?
ask those questions, you know, sit with your thoughts. Why am I thinking about this thing? Why do I constantly doubt myself? What is it? You have to ask those questions and then answer them like, okay, well, maybe it was this experience where a family member said something to me and I like took that to heart and now I carry it with me everywhere I go. And so now I doubt myself because of that thing. But if you don't sit with yourself long enough, you can't really figure out where everything's coming from. So meditation, like even if it's just 1 minute. I did this one thing during drill. Yeah. We had this guy come in. He always talks about substance abuse. So he was like, we're going to do this for 60 seconds. I want you to think about just something that makes you so happy. Just so happy. I want you to just think about whatever it is. It doesn't stress you out, but just think about that. And he set a timer for 60 seconds. It was the longest minute of my life. Because I was thinking about me and the boys traveling, and we're just going to all these cool places, and then, you know, going to our like dream house and just spending all the time together. And we went everywhere in just 60 seconds. It's so crazy. So don't underestimate meditating for just a minute. Y'all already know I'm like a strong believer in small starts, because a lot of people want to just come out the fucking gate just doing like big things. If you're not good at it, you have to do it long enough to get good at it, you know?
And if you don't get the big results, you're like, oh, it doesn't work.
Every level.
Nothing is like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking about this in the interview we did. You don't get big and strong going to the gym one time.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like I'm ripped up. No, like repetition.
You have to keep going.
It's like literally with anything. Like just with mindfulness, like practice. Everything takes practice.
Yeah.
And nothing worth any value is like that.
Instantaneous, yeah.
So, this is one of
the things. Be okay with starting small. Like, I've had to start small or reset my fitness journey several times with each big-headed baby that I popped out. And then whenever I would get sick or lose, like, muscle mass or whatever, I've had to start over. But the thing is, you're not really starting over, you know, from scratch. You're starting from experience. So don't be afraid to reset. Don't be afraid to start small. And the last thing for being more grateful is actually, like, expressing it. Say more often thank you, and don't just like say thank you and what for, and just the littlest of things for the people in your life, and it'll help them to start feel more grateful. You'll encourage them to do the same thing as well, but just start saying it out loud so you're hearing it and you're believing it, and you're like, wow, I do have all of these things. Saying thank you is like so powerful. Oh my God.
Yeah, for everything. Like for any, you know, photographers or videographers that DM us to work with us, I'm like, thank you, you know, like you took time out of your day to reach out, and, you know, obviously if you're reaching out, you care, so, you know, thank you. Like, you didn't have to do anything. You could just kept on scrolling or whatever it may be, so, you know, it's little things like that.
I just love genuine people. There's not enough of them. I'm really appreciative for anybody who has ever said anything nice to me. Like, and every time I would get a message of like either a thank you, I'm proud of you, whatever, it's when I'm feeling terrible, when I'm feeling like I'm not doing well enough. So don't ever stop. Like, if you ever feel like, oh, this person's on my heart, I need to send them, fucking do it. It's because they need it. It's
coming
because
to you
they
for
need
a
it.
reason.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's always been so timely. I remember one time, this is actually recent, I was feeling so undervalued and unappreciated, and I was about to go to bed, and then one of my friends, she had like reached out to me and just told me how proud of me she was. I'm like, really? Oh my God. And then it was like a chain reaction of a bunch of message, like, let's all message Kira how proud of her we are. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't take it. But I needed it. I really needed it. I was so appreciative of that. It's just, it's amazing, and it doesn't happen enough. It's been such a vibe having you here.
Thank you for having me. I
need you to tell all the people where they can find you.
So you can find us on Instagram at LOVEovrHATE with no E and over. So it's LOVEovrHATE. Our website is in the bio. That's loveclothing.shop. We also recently just dropped some trucker hats, so go check those out.
Oh, I saw those.
Yep.
I saw those. Lit. Oh my god.
Got a limited quantity of those, and they're only $20 for the first couple of days.
Lit.
So, yep.
I love it. Okay, so, well, I'm gonna leave you how I always leave you guys. And everything you do, remember to always choose you. Peace. Oh, we did so good. No, we shouldn't get any bloopers. Oh my god.